This
it.
conference will now be recorded.
And this says that, this specific version says that it's running the bad blue HTTPD 2.7, right? Because the one which we installed is the same, right? So I went to the exploit DB and I download the application from here, and I ran that application on the port number 80, so that you know it's showing over here. Okay, when we are doing the uh, scanning on it. Now, as an attacker, okay, our intention is to exploit this vulnerability. Okay, our intention, like attacker intention, is to basically exploit this vulnerability. That's the reason I have choose a vulnerable application which has the exploit available in the internet. You can see this exploit code is already available in the internet, right? So this is the exploit code. The exploit is acquired by the Metasploit. So this is a very famous tool for exploitation, guys. Okay, so we exploit uh, the vulnerabilities with the help of the Metasploit. So I'll tell you what is this tool and how to use it for now. Okay, so we got the version, right? So you can directly copy this version, okay, and you can Google it. Uh, like you can Google it, saying that uh, bad blue HTTPD 2.7 vulnerabilities. Okay, you can, you'll be having certain results over here, right? So you can see you got the results from the Rapid7, you got the results from the cvedetails.com, exploit-db.com, nvd. NIST .gov, and you got some details of other blogs also. So we have a few, we have some of the vulnerable databases, guys. Like this is the vulnerable database CV details, and this is also NVD, National Vulnerability Database. So whatever the vulnerability it is, so it will be, it's just kind of a repository, guys. Okay, here you will be able to find the information about that vulnerability. Okay, you can just search for the vulnerabilities with the vendor, with the product, with the version. Okay, even with the help of the Microsoft reference ID also you can able to search over here. So whenever our target is using this, so I just Google it, so I got the results from the CVE details now, right? So now the version what the target is using is 2.7. So I'll just make sure that the results are related to the 2.7 by giving the search, okay, which is 2.7. 2.7, you can see bad blue 2.7, right? So there are four different types of vulnerabilities which this specific version has. Okay, this is the denial of a service attack. We won't be able to get the shell. Only we can able to send more number of packets to denial the web server access to the users. And this is the informational vulnerability. I guess we can, attacker can only able to obtain the sensitive information via an internal browser parameters with the help of the path errors. Another one is a directory traversal attack. So this directory traversal attack, we can call it as a dot slash attack. Okay, you will learn this all. This is web application related attacks. Okay, so with the help of this directory traversal attack, attacker can able to read some of the internal files of the system which are not directly accessible to the user. Okay, but the last one, if you see, this is something related to execute code overflow. Okay, so this seems to be buffer overflow vulnerability. Okay, in the pass through functionality in the xtree.dll. So buffer overflow is a very famous vulnerability and very advanced vulnerability where attackers will be sending particular amount of buffer to the target to take the reverse shell, to take the reverse shell. So I guess we can use this now. Okay, we can use this one. Okay, we can use the CVE to check whether the exploit code is available in the internet. So we already have that. open. You can see that in the exploit DB results. Where is it? Okay, so here we have some exploits, right? So if I open this, you can compare the CVE. Okay, CVE 276377, and this CVE is also same 20076377. So with the help of, there is a vulnerability which is buffer overflow vulnerability in the pass-through functionality in the exit.dll on this specific version that can allow a remote attacker to execute the arbitrary code via long query string. So it's not like technically, we are not the person who is writing the exploit code. Okay, somebody's already written this exploit code, and this exploit is already acquired by the Metasploit. So we use the Metasploit tool, against the target system with this exploit to gain or explain the arbitrary, to exploit or to run the arbitrary code on the target system. Okay, the exploit is written by someone else, and this is acquired by the Metasploit. So we are going to use the Metasploit tool, uh, you know to run the exploitation against the vulnerable server which is running on the Windows 7. Okay, so is this clear, guys? Guys, is this clear for you? I'll explain you how do we do it in automated way also with the help of the vulnerability uh, you know assessment tools. But this is how we do it, like manually. When you understand the process of exploiting manually, then it's very easy for you to understand uh, the vulnerability assessment tools. So that is what my intention is, to cover this in a manual way. Okay, so no doubts in a sense. That's good. I mean, yeah, so I'll continue. So the thing is, like, now what I'm gonna do is, now we have a target system. I know that the specific port is vulnerable, port number 80. Okay, even we got to know that. Okay, and after doing the googling, I got to know that this is exploit is also available in the internet, and this is acquired by the Metasploit tool. So I'll use the Metasploit tool. uh, with the help of that Metasploit tool, I'll just launch the attack on the target system to you know penetrate the port number 80. So Metasploit is a very famous exploitation tool. Okay, it's a very big tool. Okay, we can do a lot of things with the Metasploit tool. So to launch the Metasploit, okay, first thing is you just run the command called msf console with the root access. So once you run the MSF console, okay, MSF is Metasploit framework console, so it's gonna give us the MSF console. So now we are in the root console. So from the root, we are going to the MSF console. You can see this is the MSF 6. So this is the latest version. I hope which I'm using at this time. And don't worry by seeing these all the junk characters. This is just a banner. Okay, so when you launch the MSF console, you'll be having the different banners. Okay, so like no need to worry about by seeing this banner. You can just type banner. Okay, it will give you something else. Okay, just a different banner, nothing else. Okay, and this has the various modules. Okay, we have the exploits, auxiliaries, post exploits, payloads, encoders, no operations, and eviation. So these are all different modules, guys. It has its own database internally in the Kali. So it has like in this current version it has 2134 exploits, guys. So out of this, all the 2134 exploits, I need to identify, okay, whether this specific exploit is available. Okay, so how do I do that? I can search with the CVE number, or I can search with the name of the, I can search with the name of the, uh, vulnerability or name of the exploit. So, you can just use a command called search. Okay, search, and you can search with the CV 2007 hyphen, which is 6377. Okay, I'm just searching with the 6377. You can see I have a result. I have one result with this specific, CV. So similar way, even I can search, similar way, even I can search with the name of the exploit. Okay, so the name is bad blue, right? The name of the exploit is bad blue, right? So I can search with the name also. Okay, I can just give search bad blue. You can see I got two results over here. Okay, and when you read the, when you, this is the exploit. Okay, so this is the exploit. Uh, this is actually the exploit, and this is available in this specific location. Okay, exploit directory Windows and HTTP is a service. Then inside the HTTP we have this exploit. There are two exploits are there. Okay, if you observe this, there are two exploits are there. One is discovered or disclosed in 2003, and one is in 2007, and the ranking also good. Okay, and whether we can able to check this without exploiting it or not. So we don't have an option for this, but we have an option for this. And here we have the versions. Okay, the one which the target is using is 2.7, right? Because we got that result in the scanning while we are doing scanning and enumeration. They are using 2.7. So now the attacker will be using the 2.7 exploit only. Okay, he'll be using the second one, because if we use this, it may not work because that is a different version and this is a different version. And in this 2.7 version, this vulnerability would have already patched it. So uh, to use this exploit, okay, to use this exploit, even you can see they have given some examples also. To check the information about this uh, exploit, you can use info1. Okay, the serial number you have to define, and if you want to use it, you can use a command with the use, or else you can just copy the entire path and just load it to the console with the help of use command. Okay, so you can see I just use you know command, and I pasted this, the second one. Okay, so as soon as I pasted, the payload also configured automatically, because this is Windows related exploit. So Windows Metaprinter reverse TCP payload is also configured now. So it's like we have the exploit, inside the exploit, so we have the payload also now. Okay, and this is the indication that, okay, in the red color, the exploit is added to the MSF console. The exploit is added to the MSF console. Now, to check what all the options are there inside the exploit and payload, I'll just use a command called show options. Okay, I'll just use a command called show options. So I got all the options over here. So these options are related to the exploit, and these options are related to the payload, right? So this exploit is written by someone else, right? And acquired by Metasploit. So we are into the Metasploit. So now just we need to give the target IP address. It's not like we have to write some or modify some kind of a exploitation script. It just, that we need to give the our host details. That is the target IP address and target port number over here. So you have to check which all the things are required and necessary. According to that, you have to give the details over here. So now our host is the target, that is the you know my Windows system. So I'll just give set r host, and my target IP address, which is 186 Windows, and set R port. It's already running in the port number 80. If in case if it is running a different port, so then you guys can change it by using the set uh, R port command. So in this case, I'm just giving the 80 only. Then so these two things are satisfied, okay, which are required over here. Then the other thing is like the options for payload. So in the payload option, we have lhost details, which is local host details, our IP address. So automatically my IP address is taken, and my port number is also taken over here, because uh, we are attacking on this particular system. And once once the attack is happen, the arbitrary code is going to execute it. I mean to say that this payload is going to execute into the target system. Then it's going to give the connection back to us, to my system and my port number. So I'll be listening on this address, and I'll be listening on this specific port number to receive the communication. So it will be like this. Okay, so there is a system now which has a vulnerability. So what has an attacker, what I have done, I have scanned your system, identified that there is a vulnerability, I found an exploit in the internet, okay, and I am sending this exploit with the payload. Once the exploitation is done, okay, the arbitrary code execution will happen. Okay, this payload will get installed into your system. I'll give the connection back to us. So we'll be listening over here on the port number 44444 on my system. Then the session will be established with the target system if the exploitation happens successfully, right? So once you give all the details over here, okay, once you give all the details over here, you can just give one more time show options to check whether the R host and R port and L host and L port details are added properly. Once you feel everything is right, then you can just hit exploit. Okay, then the reverse handler will start in our system port number 444. Then the exploitation will happen. Once the successful exploitation is done, you can see we got a session 1 open with the target system, which means that we are inside the Windows 7 system, guys, with the Metabreeder session, right? Now if I check the sys info details, I mean to say system information, you can see I am in SAI PC Windows 7 6.1. Okay, this is the build number. Do you understand? So I'm inside the Windows system. Now you can see these all the these all the files I can able to access from the Windows system from this specific location. Okay, now like I can download something, I can upload something, I can create some directories, or I can create some files. You can see I'm in the C drive, right? Even you can take the shell also. If I give shell, you can see I have the C drive shell. If I type who am I, so who, okay, the spelling mistake, who am I, you can say it says the SAI PC. Okay, I can see list of files over there. I can navigate to one directory to another directory. I can check it out what files are there. Okay, you can see I'm going to SAI user. Then maybe I can go to desktop. Now I can see what files are there. You can see there are hello is a directory. There is an exe files. 3 exe files are there. One link is there. Okay, let's go and check it out. If these things are there, you can see hello directory, and this is the exe files which we are referring to. This is a link which we have, right? Now we can do like we can create some files, and we can download some files, we can upload some files also from here. So for an example, let me delete this directory called hello. Okay, rmdir, okay, remove directory, hello, done. Okay, the removing the directory is done. You can see there is no directory over here. It just got deleted. I can do like maybe I can create a new one, maybe saying that hat. Can you see this? The directory is created. I can do you know uh, I can do many things according to my privileges. I can I can run the commands, and I can uh, control the compromise system, right? So any questions or any doubts?
Sir, can you explain once in local language?
Yeah, see, so మనం ఏం చేసామంటే ఫస్ట్ విండోస్ 7 ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టంలో ఒక ఇంటెన్షనల్లీ వల్నరబుల్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ని ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసినాము, విచ్ ఇస్ బ్యాడ్ బ్లూ 2.7, downloaded from
Okay.
the exploit db. Okay, so in exploit db మనకు ఎక్స్ప్లాయిట్స్, పబ్లిక్లీ అవైలబుల్ ఎక్స్ప్లాయిట్స్ ఉంటాయి. సో one of the vulnerable program, okay, called bad blue, I have downloaded from here. ఓకే, సో ఇక్కడ నుంచి నేను డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకున్న తర్వాత దాన్ని విండోస్ 7 సిస్టంలో ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసి రన్ చేశాను. ఓకేనా? సో అలా చేసినప్పుడు
Okay.
ఏమైంది, దాన్ని రన్ చేసినప్పుడు అది పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ 80లో రన్ అయింది. అంటే నేను దాన్ని పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ 80లో రన్ చేసినాను. పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ 80లో రన్ చేసిన తర్వాత నేను ఆ సిస్టమ్ని స్కాన్ చేసినాను. ఓకే, నేను ఆ సిస్టమ్ని స్కాన్ చేసినాను. సో with the help of nmap. So these scan results are before running the bad blue. Okay, these scan results are after running the bad blue, right? సో బ్యాడ్ బ్లూ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయకన్నా ముందు, బ్యాడ్ బ్లూ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఒకసారి nmap తో స్కాన్ చేస్తే నాకు పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ 80 అనేది వచ్చింది. సో the same port number 80, and again I am enumerated here, okay, by adding the version detection and automation scripts, right? సో అదే సేమ్ పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ 18 నేను ఏం చేశాను, మళ్ళీ వర్షన్ డిటెక్షన్ ఎన్మ్యాప్ లోని ఎన్యూమరేషన్ స్విచెస్ యూజ్ చేసి స్కాన్ చేస్తే నాకు బ్యాడ్ బ్లూ HTTPD 2.7 వర్షన్ రన్ అవుతుందని తెలిసింది. సో ఈ వర్షన్ తీసుకొని, okay, so by taking this version, I just googled it, okay, in the internet to identify if I get some kind of a details about this vulnerability, right? సో ఆ వర్షన్ డీటెయిల్స్ అని తీసుకొని నేను గూగుల్ చేశాను. గూగుల్ చేస్తే నాకు ఏమని వచ్చిందంటే, దస్ ఆల్రెడీ ఐ నో దట్ ఇట్స్ వల్నరబుల్. ఆల్రెడీ మనకు తెలుసు కాబట్టి అది వల్నరబుల్ కాబట్టి దాని ఎక్స్ప్లాయిట్ కూడా ఉంది మన దగ్గర. ఎక్కడ ఉంది ఎక్స్ప్లాయిట్? db.com లో ఉంది, రైట్? ఇక్కడ నుంచి నాకు అర్థమైంది ఏంటంటే ఈ ఎక్స్ప్లాయిట్ అనేది మెటాస్ప్లాయిట్ అనే టూల్ వాళ్ళు అక్వైర్ చేసుకున్నారు అని. ఓకే, సో బై సర్చింగ్ the things in the internet, I got to know that there is a vulnerability associated with this specific version, and there is a exploit also there, and this is acquired by the Metasploit tool, right? So then I directly navigated to the Metasploit tool, okay, by launching the console. Okay, after launching the Metasploit console, I just searched in the internet. I just searched over here to identify whether the exploit is available or not in the exploit database of the Metasploit. ఓకే, సో ఇక్కడ నుంచి నేను డీటెయిల్స్ తీసుకున్న తర్వాత CV డీటెయిల్స్ కానీ ది ఆథర్ డీటెయిల్స్ కానీ నేను మెటాస్ప్లాయిట్ కన్సోల్ని లాంచ్ చేసి ఇక్కడ నేను సెర్చ్ చేశాను. ఓకే, నా CV డీటెయిల్స్ తోటి. సో నాకు అర్థమైంది ఏంటంటే ఆల్రెడీ ఈ ఎక్స్ప్లాయిట్ అనేది మెటాస్ప్లాయిట్ డేటాబేస్లో ఎగ్జిస్టెడ్ ఉంది అని, రైట్? సో యూ కెన్ సీ, రైట్, ఐ గాట్ ది డీటెయిల్స్.
Okay.
సో అక్కడ నుంచి నేను ఏం చేశానంటే ఈ సెకండ్ వన్, ఓకే, ఈ సెకండ్ వన్ నా టార్గెట్ వర్షన్ కూడా మ్యాచ్ అవుతుందని చెప్పి దాన్ని లోడ్ చేశాను. ఓకేనా? I'm just
Okay.
started
Okay.
using this specific exploit over here with the help of use command. Then then I got this console over here, which says that you are successfully loaded this specific module, right? So this is the indication, guys, which says that you are loaded the module. So after a module ni load చేసిన తర్వాత I gave the command called show option to check what all the available options. ఇక్కడ నేను టార్గెట్ ఐపీ అడ్రస్ ఇచ్చాను. నా టార్గెట్ పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ ఇచ్చాను. దాని తర్వాత ఎక్స్ప్లాయిట్ చేశాను. After giving the target IP address and target port number over to this exploit, I just run the exploitation over here, right? And the exploitation is also successful. Then it took me into the Windows 7 system, right? ఇక్కడ ఎక్స్ప్లోయిటేషన్ అనేది సక్సెస్ఫుల్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత నేను విండోస్ 7 సిస్టమ్ లోకి ఎంటర్ అయ్యాను. ఓకే, సో ఈజ్ దిస్ క్లియర్, గైస్?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is how the attackers will basically get into the systems if in case if the target is running any vulnerable services, which are having the more critical you know uh, like remote code execution vulnerabilities or any kind of a critical vulnerabilities. So manually identification of this vulnerabilities is a bit difficult. If you have one or two systems, that's fine. We can directly go and identify this, and by scanning with the help of the nmap tool from the external point of view or external hacker point of view is also a bit difficult. Okay, because maybe the internal attacker may able to identify some vulnerabilities by sitting into their network and exploit, right? So to manage the entire the vulnerability management program. Okay, so I know we use or all the people, like I mean to say, in which automate or or entire design tool which can do that thing and get quality and give ability very of the each uh, good representation with all the required vulnerability. I mean to say, about the vulnerability, previous about the about vulnerability, see declare it whether it is exploitable or not. Details. Have the nest one of most powerful. Nest is a one popular tool for the US using for
Sir, your
and
voice
the
is
vulnerable.
breaking, sir.
Most of the people are using the Nest
Hello.
tool.
Your voice is
To the
breaking, sir.
we have
Hello.
this guy to have another tool.
Sir, your voice is breaking.
Guys, is it fine now?
Yes, sir. Now it's fine.
Okay. So let me share my screen. Hope everyone can able to hear me clearly and can able to see my screen. Guys, just can you confirm me once?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay. So what I'm actually saying is that performing the scans with the Nmap when you have the more number of systems and identification of vulnerabilities in a manual way and checking whether it is exploitable or not is difficult, right? When you have like thousands of systems uh, in the environment, so this manual and open source tools can not help us to get the more details, like more required details about the systems. So that's where this vulnerability assessment tools will or vulnerability management tools will come into the picture. So what will happen is in the vulnerability management, we scan the systems with the help of this vulnerability management tools. After identification of vulnerabilities, even we can patch those vulnerabilities also, so that no one can able to intrude into the network, right? So we have the two different major tools. So there are many tools are there. Okay, vulnerability assessment tools. So there's all the two major tools what we have. Okay, Nessus and Qualys. uh, you know what I'll request you is, guys, just go to the Qualys portal and register with your email address for the trial version. Okay, so once you go for um a trial version, then you'll be having the 16 days trial for the cloud platform. Okay, here this is the page where you can go and get register for the uh, trial. Then I'll explain you, okay, how the Qualys will work. If in case if you don't have the work email, so maybe you can install the Nessus in your system. Just type Nessus download. Okay, once you type the Nessus download, you will be having the Nessus okay packages for the various operating systems. You can directly install in your local system itself. So from here, choose the right package which is belongs to the Windows. I guess hope most of the people are using the Windows. So here is the package for the Windows, right? Nessus 8.15.164-bit MSA file. You can download the MSA file from here and start installing it. Okay, it's like just give next, 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 next. So once you're done with the installation part, okay, Nessus will run on the port number 8834 in the local host, so that you can just type this URL. After doing the installation of that MSA file, you will be able to see the Nessus console like this. Okay, for me it's asking the username and password, but for you guys, it'll ask you to get registered. Okay, by giving the username and password. So in this case, okay, in that case, okay, to get the activation code, you can just simply go to the Nessus portal back. Here you have something called get activation code. Click on this and go for the Nessus essentials register. So even these guys will give you without corporate or work address, they can give the activation code for you. You can just simply go and register over here to get the activation code. So once you have the activation code, then just go and complete the installation process from here. Once the installation is done, you will be able to log in with the given credentials, uh, and you will be able to see the Nessus console like this. Okay, so I request you guys to go and install the tool in your system. Tomorrow we'll discuss about the Nessus tool and how we can able to automate the vulnerability scanning with the help of these tools, and these tools will give you this kind of a graphical representation of the vulnerabilities. Okay, so every vulnerability has the details like this. Okay, on which port the vulnerability is identified, and what is the description, and what is the solution for it, and what is the risk ranking for it. Okay, so we'll be having all the details over here. Okay, so yeah, so we'll do it practically tomorrow. So yeah, just go and install these tools, install this Nessus in your system, and get back to me tomorrow if in case if you are having any issues while you're facing while you're installing, you know, so that I can help you guys. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
So okay then. So do you need the commands, guys? Whatever the commands you have used today, or have you taken the notes? How many of you taken the notes?
No, sir, not taken.
Sir, need the
Okay, then how
commands.
you going to?
Sir, need the commands.
Okay. So let me give you all the commands whatever I have used today in a file, so that you guys can go ahead and use it while you're practicing. To practice it, guys, you need another VM, which is Windows, so that you guys can able to do these practicals. Even the same thing is also there in the lab manuals as well. So just go and so let me give you in the word, so that easily you can able to understand that. Okay, so the commands are here, guys. So you can just use this commands. I'll share with the team. Okay, so that probably they can forward you this file now. Okay, and so let me save this in the desktop. So I'm just giving you the name of this file is PatBlue exploitation. Okay. Okay, so I'll send you this file with the team, so maybe they can forward you this. Yeah. Any other concerns or questions part of this? So install the
Sir,
Nessus, guys. Yes.
sir, what is bottle rocket, sir, in Kali?
Bottle rocket.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So where do you find this?
Uh, in Kali, I by mistake did typed a BR and hit enter, and it got installed in my PC.
What is the spelling of it?
I bottle rocket. Uh, BOTTLAROCKET.
Okay. So Bottle Rocket is a Linux-based open source operating system. Okay. That purposely built by Amazon actually
Okay,
to
sir.
run some containers, other stuff.
Okay, sir.
Hmm. Okay, so yeah.